Hello, I'm Dr. Damo Scholler. Welcome to your personal strategic planning process. There are 3 free modules in this process before you get to the point where you decide whether to carry on or whether to stop. What I'm sure is that just these 3 first exercises will prove to you the absolutely great value of having a personal strategic plan. So, what are we going to start with in this planning process? We're going to start with your vision statement. Your vision statement is a statement of what you want to be. So it's a to be statement, it's not an is statement. It's not a judgment of what you've done, it's not a judgment of what you plan to do, it simply is a to be statement. So, a vision statement would typically start with my vision statement. My vision is to be. A vision statement will typically start with my vision is to be, and then your vision following. That's what you're going to develop this first time. Now, there are certain rules that guide the creation of your vision statement. It's supposed to be in the future, so we can't talk about what you're doing now. That's number 1. Number 2, it has to squarely be about you, not what you do. Let's make that clear again. Squarely about you and not what you do. How does that work? If your vision statement is about you, it's not therefore to be the best cultural anthropologist in the world. If cultural anthropology is what you do, there have got to be aspects of cultural anthropology that have nothing to do with your current employer. If you vision and start again. Your vision is going to come to you in steps. You're going to have revealed wisdom in the process. Why is the there? It doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is record something so that we're confident enough to actually say it. Don't try editing, okay? Right. Your vision statement is not about your current employment. A lot of people, for some strange reason, think that their own identification, their self-identification comes from the work that they do. Therefore, because I work as, for instance, a cultural anthropologist, I am stuck with being a cultural anthropologist because I work in Cultural Anthropology Limited. I want to be the best product manager at ABC Materials Limited. That cannot be a vision statement. That's a statement of fact. That's why you work. What's your vision for yourself? What would you do if you had the means to do it without being paid? And you would do it every day, joyfully and carefreely. A lot of people say nothing. That's not true. Because for a lot of people, nothing actually speaks to not this. So it's going to take a few iterations for you to unfetter yourself and to ask yourself repeatedly, what is my vision for myself? That's phase 1. And in phase 2, we're going to actually look at your values. Your values are very, very different from anybody else's values. They are. They don't seem to be different, but when you actually unpackage yourself, you start to see that you actually have values that you hold dear, principles that you hold to be absolute in your life. You may not acknowledge them, you may not see them as necessarily fascinating or interesting, but those things are going to be very, very useful for you in this process going forward. The third thing we're going to then develop is a mission statement for yourself. Now, this kind of sounds like a corporate planning process, doesn't it? Exactly. The difference between you and a corporation is who is making the decisions and who is doing the thinking. In a strategic planning retreat, a whole group of people retreat. And they try to figure out what is our vision, what is our collective vision. Now it's just your sole vision, and it's yours. You're the custodian of it, and luckily, you don't have to go and publish it in an annual report anywhere, but it's in your annual report to yourself. And then they say, this is our vision, this is our mission, these are our values, and this is where we are going. And this is how we propose to get there. That's how strategic planning processes work. But there are some things that you should understand about strategic planning processes. It's not planning your life. I am not a life coach. I do strategy. Strategy is getting from point A to point B. In part 2, which is the in-person aspect of this program, we will unpack where here is and where there is. But we're not going to have that conversation right now. The conversation we're having right now is about you. What is your vision? Let me tell you the cop-out, and I've seen this before. The cop-out is to say, well, what's your vision? No, you cannot tailor your vision based on mine. You cannot tailor your vision based on what Google says. You cannot tailor your vision based on anybody else except you sitting down, pen and paper, and writing down and scratching out and writing down and scratching out and writing down and scratching out, and finally crafting out a statement, not a paragraph, not 5 sentences, 1 sentence that says what your vision is. And in order to make your life much easier, let me tell you this right now. Your vision depends on how elevated you are. So listen to this carefully and understand. If you know you want to go in this direction, you are sure that that is the direction you want to go, but you do not know how far you can go in that direction. Remember something. When you stand on the ground and you look to the horizon, you see the horizon there. But as you ascend, the location of the horizon and the things that you can see change. Therefore, we tend to think of our personal visions as one for the rest of our lives, rather than those based on the horizons that we have right now. So, if I'm in secondary school, leaving and going to university, there's only so far I can see. I want to make a strategic plan for that time. And when I finish university or technical college or get some experience under my belt working, there is so far that I can see again, and I want to make additional edits to that strategic plan. You are going to create a vision statement for yourself. That vision statement is going to be completely yours. But it is only a picture of where you want to be in 3 to 5 years. At the very most, 7 years. And then you're going to go through this process again. The good thing about it is that you've already done it before at that point, and you know what to then look forward to. You cannot change your vision plan on a daily basis. It is much the same way as setting out on a journey. You cannot get into a vehicle of any sort or start walking and you walk a little bit this way and then you decide, oh, let's change it and let's go a little bit that way. So you're going to have to do a lot of thinking. Take out any reference to any company. Take out any reference to any profession. Take out any reference to any territory. Take out any reference to any other person. This is about you, not about them, not about things. And this is what I would like you to work on. So, send an email. Send an email, okay? With your vision statement such as it is, when you've done it, but no later than the date below the email. And let's get to work. The schedule for my in-person sessions, payments, etc., will come later when we get through the first part of this process. I actively encourage you to do that today. You do not need a special occasion. You do not need a special occasion to decide that you are going to have a vision, that you are going to have a mission, that you are going to enunciate your values. You do not need a special occasion. It doesn't have to be your birthday. It doesn't have to be your anniversary. It doesn't have to be anything. Today is the next best day to start. So start. I actively encourage it. And I look forward to giving you feedback. Take care. Thank you.